Greetings to all. Welcome to Soul Power Tennis. I'm Akhmoseari, and today is Sunday. Happy Sunday to everyone. Checking my sounds real quick. And today is Sunday. It is indeed. Yeah, wishing everybody to be well. Happy Sunday. Happy January 8th. Yesterday was my birthday anniversary. So that's what's going on there. And yeah, wish really everybody is well, staying warm wherever you are in the country. Um, and yeah, it's interesting. So I just came on just for a quick moment. Been in transition, different locales and, getting different studio situations set up and different things tested and, seeing which method, which setting um, works amongst handling other life situations. And pardon me for not being fully present to this channel and the stream and all that it needs. Just have a lot going on and a lot of different components that I'm focusing in on as it pertains to online content creation and broadcasting, and really focusing in on my main channel and another channel that I've started as well. So that's what's been up with me. And haven't been tuning into a lot of tennis, but I haven't been following it as I'd usually be tuning in. And I think in part, like this broadcast is called, Tennis 2023 Thoughts. In part, I'm less familiar with all these new tournaments that are starting up. Why? Because they're brand new tournaments that have been created for the first time this year or this past year, 2022. And I think for me, it seemed very busy. It seemed like the tour, may have been creating new tournaments to not only grow the game, and expand what it is tennis is about and its influence and its impact and the beauty that it brings by way of sport to the planet, which is beautiful. Don't have an issue with that at all. But it also seems like there's a bit of potential compensation going on for. I know that there was something going on in Asia with like a controversy, and some tournaments weren't able to be played. Correct me if I'm incorrect. And so, potential funds were going to be lost, and the tour had to compensate in some way. And I suppose it created new tournaments. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But if that's not the case, okay, that's one thing. Other thing is, it seemed a bit busy and potentially unnecessary. I think the Labor Cup is a great idea. That Roger Federer, started and, helped, create. It was an additional tournament that kind of spiced up the tour and made things a bit more fun and team Europe versus team world. And okay, it's a new tournament that they were able to slide into the schedule, and players enjoyed it and had a great time with it. And I think people were looking for something similar on the ladies' side of things, the WTA. And it seems like these newer tournaments, such as the United Cup, along with a few others, seems to give that opportunity of having both men and women, be in the same tournament and play against each other. Exhibition style or non-exhibition style. The formats have been very different, and different team names named after different animals, and so it's definitely creative and interesting, and innovative with what they're doing and what tennis has the leeway to create, the bandwidth that they have to create in comparison to other sports. It's like tennis is able to just do so many different things and expand and experiment and explore and see what works and see what doesn't work. And I think that's in part what makes the sport so great and phenomenal is its malleability and what it's able to accomplish and what it's able to experiment with. So that's beautiful. Um, I just it just seemed like it jam packed it, in at the end of the year, and it just got too busy for me to tune into. And it was like, what, this tournament, that tournament? Okay, what's the format? Okay, what's this? What's this? Like, you know, let the players have an off season, even if it's just for 21 days or a month. And it just doesn't seem like that was the case this time around. So going into 2023, um, a lot of the top players have been very busy, or been active, which can be a good thing. We'll see what it brings. I mean, obviously it's by choice, for the most part, but we'll see what this year brings with players, a significant amount of the top players being active and busier than in previous years and playing through, November and December and going, even January. I think United States just won the inaugural United Cup, so cheers to that. Um, Team USA, yay, awesomeness. Novak seems to be on a tear, and that seems to be a scare for the men's side of things because he's on a mission and he has something to prove to himself and he has a statement to make, with not being allowed, quote unquote, to, play the Australian Open 2022 and the US Open 2022. And so this year, I think to close 2022 and coming into 2023, he has extra motivation, and he's just in tip-top shape mentally and physically, it appears, emotionally as well, and he's just ready to do damage this year. So watch out for Novak Djokovic. Meanwhile, my guy Rafael Nadal, didn't end the year too well. Consecutive losses for the first time. I think he lost 3 times for the first time in, I don't know, 12, 15 years or something like that. If I'm correct, if I'm wrong, please correct me. I apologize. So, and even to start the year, I think he had a loss. And so, he's a new father and there's life situations that are going on with him and he's becoming a new man in that sense. But it's not fun and cool to see my guy losing, and he had such a great year this previous year, and I'm sure he's going to pick it up and turn things around because he's an all-time great, and I think this year is the battle to submit who is the all-time greatest, between Novak Djokovic and Rafael Nadal, because Novak is looking to pick up a few more Grand Slams. So we'll see how that goes. And obviously Federer has retired. Murray is still in it. Stan Wawrinka is still in it. But it's a two-man race right now. So on the women's side, Iga Swiatek, lost pretty handily to Jessica Pegula very recently. And that was kind of like a shock, but I think she's still going to have a great year. And the women's side of things seems to be like picking up in my world, where I'm starting to become more attentive to what it is that's going on the WTA side. Whereas there was a solid like decade where I was just focusing in on like what the ATP had going on, what the men's side had going on. And so this is going to be a little different, and more balanced. And I think it's great. I think going to the US Open this past year kind of like sparked that, like going to it in person, sparked that interest in seeing like, several, big time women players and the matches and them playing against each other. Was like, this is awesome. I love supporting the women and seeing their growth and their expansion and their beauty. In addition to the men's side, so I'm excited for the WTA and what it has planned, and um, and the top players and how they're representing the game. And Serena has retired, but Venus is still in it. I think she has a wild card into the Australian Open this year, 2023. So that's amazing. Um, I look forward to Francis Tiafoe and Nick Kyrgios doing damage this year. I think they're primed for it. Um, I think 2023 was a primer for them, and I think they are ready to go. And What's another player? Why am I forgetting his name for the first time? From Canada. Oh my goodness. It'll come to me. Um, so I think those two, in addition to Felix Auger-Aliassime, he's also going to have a phenomenal year. So I think those three players are going to be, amongst others, like Taylor Fritz. He's having a breakout. Previous 9 months or so, and he's on a tear. So he's the top, ranked American men's player. So kudos to him for that, Taylor Fritz, and you know yeah, so I think he's going to continue that momentum. I think Francis Tiafoe is going to continue his momentum. I think Nick Kyrgios is going to continue his momentum, and I think Felix, Auger-Aliassime is going to continue his momentum. So there's newer energy that's going to be impacting the game of tennis this year. And very similar on the women's side, with Pagula and Swiatek and Ons Jabeur, and it's going to be nice to see like the Russian players back and being allowed to play at the tournaments, and it's going to be an exciting year of tennis for sure. I think one of the greatest tennis years of all time with the newer tournaments. And I think 2020, 2021, 2022 have been highly experimental years, and coming out of the pandemic and trying to identify what's next, and how does the game adjust and shift, and bans and this, and you know um, you know and 2023 is here. So it's like this is going to be a solid year of like, okay, everybody has had time off. Players who've been injured are returning, and everybody is pretty much healthy. Pardon any background noise, there's construction going on in and around the home. But yeah, a lot of players coming back who've been injured or off for a while, on both sides. And so it's going to be like very exciting. Zverev is, back, and, again, several Russian female players, are back and ready to go. And Medvedev, is off to a good start. And it's just, so on and so forth. It's just a lot of players who are back and revved a team, a lot of players who are revved up and ready to go. And so it's going to be a mix of those who've been off and injured, coming back or coming forward, those who've had a good 2022, bringing that momentum into 2023. And then you still got the top ones, the top two, top three, Novak and Rafael Nadal, still there. And we're going to see what happens. Unfortunately, Naomi Osaka had to pull out of the Australian Open 2023, as well as, Carlos Alcaraz. Very unfortunate news, for them both, especially, for Carlos coming off of the momentum of the U.S. Open and ending the year as the youngest year in number one ever, at 19 years of age. And but wishing them both a speedy recovery, and there's so many different stories that are going on, and I apologize if I'm not naming all of them, but So you got those three components, those who are coming forth from being off for a while, and those who are carrying the momentum forward, and you still got the two top guys. So stay tuned for this incredible year of 2023, and someday I'll make it to the Australian Open and be able to see it live. I've been to Australia. I've been to Wollongong and Sydney, but not during the Australian Open time. I've been to all four Grand Slam tournaments countries, but the only one that I've been to in person has been the U.S. Open, several times, many times actually. Um, and yeah, so I'm excited. Hopefully, wishfully you're excited as well. And see what this year brings, and just thankful for life, thankful for the opportunity to be able to broadcast and to be here with you all. And again, please make sure you like, subscribe, comment. So Power Tennis is here, it's not on its way. Yeah, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, click the notification bell, and make sure you keep your head in the game, and let's maintain. And yeah, how have you all been? What's going on with you all? What have you been up to? Have you been going to the courts? Have you been swinging the racket, hitting the ball? What's been going on? I'm going to increase my my exercising output, and look forward to that. And yeah, that's essentially it. You all, just wanted to come on here and share my initial thoughts as 2022 has closed and 2023 has opened, and what's going on, and where things are at with the game. So thank you all for tuning in, and yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to throw in at the end. Yeah, it's cheers to Tennis Talk with Cam Williams. Cheers to Game to Love with Ben and JG and the entire cast of co-hosts and characters. Looking forward to seeing what they're going to bring this year, and looking forward to seeing what Soul Power Tennis brings this year as well. So got some cool endeavors going on, and that's that. And be good, be healthy. Use this ball to massage the bottom of your feet today. How about that? That's a call to action for you all. Get this tennis ball on your body somewhere, your back, your neck, your feet. Do something with it, or go to the courts and keep swinging. So thank you all for tuning in, and keeping it short, sweet, and brief. And until next time, just be good. Peace and love. See you soon. Akhmoseari. So power tennis. Fuzzy, 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 wuzzy. Peace, y'all.